Lu Ruyan was reading a book, and I casually glanced at her. Suddenly, a broadcast-style female voice echoed in my head, "Welcome to the 520th episode of Ruyan's Heartbeat Signal. The key guest of this episode, classmate number 10, has entered. Real-time heartbeat value, 98,000. The water in my mouth sprayed directly onto my textbook. This story started half an hour ago. Today, as soon as I went out, I was grazed by an electric scooter. The owner was an old man running a fortune-telling stall. He grabbed my arm, sized me up for a long time, and said with a charlatan face, "Young man, your forehead is glowing, you will have a miraculous encounter today." After that, he compensated me with 20 yuan and ran away. That 20 yuan bill was crumpled, and one corner was marked with a red pen, looking like some mysterious symbol. I stuffed the 20 yuan into my pocket and walked into the classroom, wondering what kind of miraculous encounter this could possibly be. In the front row, Lu Ruyan was reading a book. Her sitting posture was perfectly straight, looking just like the illustration of an exemplary student representative in a textbook. During Monday's early self-study, the classroom was noisy and chaotic. Yet she was completely out of place with her surroundings, quiet like a static wallpaper pasted onto a noisy background. I casually glanced around, and then a voice suddenly appeared in my head. It wasn't an auditory hallucination, nor was it tinnitus, but a crystal-clear girl's voice speaking in a standard broadcasting tone. Welcome to the 523rd episode of Lu Ruyan's Heartbeat Signal. The featured guest of this episode is student number 10. He has entered the venue. Today he is wearing a white t-shirt, with a freshness index of 90 points. Audience and friends, please pay attention. Today his hair is parted to the left, which looks 15% better than yesterday when it was parted to the right. Real-time heartbeat value broadcast, 98,000. The water I was drinking was instantly sprayed all over my textbook. My deskmate, He Chang, was startled. "What are you doing?" I stiffly wiped the textbook and looked up. Hearing the noise, Lu Ruyan turned her head to look at me for 0.5 seconds, then turned back to continue reading her book. The voice in my head immediately rang out again. Student number 10 sprayed water, a classic scene. Show crew, please mark this and archive it in the material library. It's the 37th of his 100 cute moments. Playback tip, the tips of his ears turned slightly red when he was wiping the textbook. T rating? I almost spat it out. What on earth is going on here? I shook my head vigorously, trying to throw that voice out of my mind. But it was useless. It was as stable as a Bluetooth speaker, successfully connected and impossible to disconnect. For the next half of the day, I went around testing everyone like an experiment. Passing by my classmates chatting in the hallway, I couldn't hear a single thing. Walking past the math teacher at the office door, everything was completely quiet. Su Chang was sitting right next to me, but his mind was likely blank, probably wondering what to eat for lunch. But as long as Lu Ruyan entered a range of about 10 meters around me, the signal would automatically connect. Once past this distance, the sound immediately cut off, even more stable than the campus Wi-Fi. Moreover, the sheer amount of information was outrageously absurd. It wasn't just some random thought like "he's so handsome" popping up occasionally. It was an entire show production pipeline. There was an opening monologue, guest profile pop-ups, a judge panel scoring segment, on-screen text commentary, and even a preview for the next episode. I sat through 4 classes, feeling less like I was listening to lectures and more like I was glued to a TV screen, binge-watching an entire season of a dating reality show. What was even worse was during the lunch break, Lu Ruyan lay her head on the desk and closed her eyes. I thought I could finally get some peace, but the channel suddenly switched. The lunchtime special replay began, taking us back to review the wonderful highlights of student number 10 from this morning. In the second period, student number 10 propped his chin with his left hand and looked out the window, his side profile receiving a perfect score. In the third period, he borrowed an eraser from his classmate, his voice deep and magnetic, making contestant Ruyan's heart rate spike to 120 beats per minute at that moment. In the fourth period, the math teacher called on him to answer a question. The moment he stood up, the chair scraped backward slightly. That charming movement, crew members, please play this clip on loop 3 times. I slumped on the desk, forehead resting on my arms, with only one thought in my mind. Brother, can I get a refund on that 20 yuan? During Tuesday's physical education class, during free activity time, Wang Teng blocked Lu Ruyan on the playground. The entire school knew exactly what he was trying to do. This fellow had been pursuing Lu Ruyan for over half a semester, getting the cold shoulder every single time, yet he firmly believed that sincerity could move mountains. Today, he directly brought a bouquet of flowers, surrounding himself with a crowd on the playground where everyone held up their phones, making it livelier than the school's anniversary celebration. The stadium was crowded with spectators. Lu Ruyan glanced over, her tone flat. Classmate Wang Deng, thank you, but... Wang Deng interrupted, don't rush to refuse, let me finish. Her inner voice had opened. Temporary joining member, Wang Deng. Profile loading, height 1m85, basketball specialty. I won't mention last month's exam ranking to save him some face. Performance talent, none. Relationship experience, rumor has it he once pursued someone in the neighboring class, ending in obscurity. Judge's comprehensive evaluation, appearance 7 points, conversation 3 points, intelligence questionable. Compatibility level with student number 10, 0. Conclusion, thank you for participating, please leave the studio. What does leaving the studio mean? This show wasn't open for registrations in the first place. The only permanent guest is student number 10, while everyone else is classified as an NPC. Standing at the back of the crowd, I listened to this elimination review, then looked ahead at Wang Deng, who was still saying affectionately, I will treat you well for the rest of my life. His expression was extremely complicated. Lu Ruyan finally spoke up, currently, I just want to focus on studying, thank you. Turning around to leave, her back was straight and cool. Ning Sheng added, leaving the stage must be elegant, the view from behind is the final shot. Production team, please pay attention. If student number 10 is watching my back, please give her a close-up shot. I was indeed watching, but not because her back was beautiful. It was because the phrase regular guest from earlier kept repeating in my head, with only student number 10, myself, remaining. My legs were trembling slightly. Wang Teng came to me holding flowers. Bro, you and she are in the same class. Is it true she wants to focus on studying? Is there still a chance? I recalled for a moment, NPC, compatibility score of 0. The regular guest was only student number 10. Patting his shoulder with utmost sincerity, I said, bro, give up. Trust me, there is absolutely no chance at all. It's a flat 0. So sincere that even I felt it was cruel. Once Wang Tang left, He Chang nudged closer. Why are you so sure? Intuition. As soon as I said it, I regretted it. What intuition? Are you a fortune teller? Yet He Chang actually believed it. He nodded, wore the expression of a seasoned love veteran, and said, true, looking at her rejecting attitude, it really was quite heartless. I didn't reply, my mind was still digesting the information just now. The only permanent guest is sure how, the weight of this sentence is not as simple as someone liking you. This means that Lu Ruyan, the top student of the grade and the recognized school beauty, who didn't even bat an eye when pursued by Wang Tang for half a semester. In the dating variety show of her mind, I am the only permanent guest from beginning to end, and the rest are all NPCs. For an ordinary science student like me, who sits in the back row with a presence almost equal to a wall, this amount of information is so massive that I can't quite digest it. Wednesday noon, cafeteria. I was holding my tray looking for a seat, when my peripheral vision caught Lu Ruyan sitting in a corner. There happened to be an empty seat next to her, with Li Xia's backpack placed on the chair. In her mind, she was broadcasting live. Task briefing. Step 1, arrive at the cafeteria 5 minutes early, select a seat near the area where Shihao usually sits, completed. Step 2, pretend to read a book casually, showing a serious and elegant profile, completed. Step 3, wait for him to sit over. Probability assessment, he has 3 commonly chosen positions. The hit rate in this area is about 40%, which is acceptable. Step 4, if she comes over and sits down, I will naturally look up at her. But after that, what should I do next? I haven't thought it through yet. Forget it, I'll just wing it. I carried my tray, sighed softly, and walked over. Is anyone sitting here? Lu Ruyan looked up, her expression calm. No. Inside my mind, I was screaming with joy. It worked. Step 3 completed, 40% has turned into 100%. Today is a total stroke of luck. Contestant Ruyan, please stay calm, do not laugh, absolutely do not laugh. Okay, no laughing, perfect. Facial muscles are well controlled, perfect score. I sat down to eat. Both of us fell silent. She read her book, and I shoveled down my food. Everything was as normal as could be. However, the channels inside my brain were as lively as a New Year's Eve party. She is sitting right across from me, a straight line distance of 60 centimeters. She is so focused on eating, and her movements when picking up food are so beautiful. She is eating the braised pork set, which means she likes meat. Note this down, we can choose a barbecue restaurant for future dates. Wait, who said anything about a date? We are just ordinary classmates who happen to run into each other at the cafeteria. Yes, just a coincidence. A coincidence, absolutely a coincidence. I came here 5 minutes early just to grab a seat because the lighting is good for reading, it has nothing to do with him. I kept my head down, stuffing my face with food, suppressing my smile so hard that my jaw ached. Li Xia came over with her tray and sat down with a thud. Oh, are you two eating together? Lu Ruyan replied, just a coincidence. Her inner thoughts, Li Xia, shut up. Li Xia, completely clueless, added fuel to the fire. Ruyan, don't you usually eat at the South cafeteria? Why did you come to the North one today? Lu Ruyan's fingers tightened slightly, just wanted a change of taste. Her inner thoughts, Li Xia, shut up, now. Crew, please mute this audience member's mic immediately, thank you. Li Xia wasn't done yet, she pointed her chopsticks at the braised pork on my plate. Number 10, you like this too? Ruyan also loves braised pork, your tastes are quite similar. Lu Ruyan denied, I don't like it. Her inner thoughts, I super love it, but I can't admit it. Li Xia, if you say one more word, I'll hide your pillow tonight. My shoulders shook violently from holding back laughter. He Chang passed by carrying his tray, glanced at me and asked, Number 10, are you okay? How can someone eat a meal like they're having a spasm? On Thursday afternoon, during club activity time, He Chang signed me up for the literature club behind my back, asking me to help move the equipment. Only when I arrived did I find out that the person in charge was Senior Bai Ningbing from the 12th grade. She was the head of the art department of the student union, possessing a cool and aloof aura. The two of us spent 15 minutes moving boxes at the warehouse entrance, chatting casually now and then. The entire process was as normal as it could possibly be. However, a guy from the photography club passed by, casually took a photo, and posted it on the campus forum. The headline read, Shocking. Cool senior sister and mysterious junior sister secretly meeting in the warehouse. In the photo, the two of us were carrying cardboard boxes, separated by more than a meter, and both of our expressions were very indifferent. Anyone who could see a secret meeting in this photo should probably get their eyes checked. He Chang immediately forwarded the post to me, shouting, Brother, you are famous now. I looked at the photo and rolled my eyes. But Lu Ruyan saw it. Sitting at her desk, she locked her phone screen with a calm face and opened an English vocabulary book. Suddenly, her inner voice channel switched to emergency broadcast mode. We interrupt our regular program for an emergency announcement. The program announced a major shakeup. Suspected school beauty's best friend, Bai Ningning, has confirmed her entry. Extracted profile card, grade 12, head of art department, height 1.68 m, outstanding academic record, cold demeanor, threat level assessed as S-class. Dear viewers, this is the strongest threat this show has encountered since its initial broadcast. Please note, she is not a newly registered guest, as registration for this program is permanently closed. Bai Ningning is currently only listed as a potential homewrecker threat. The female guest currently has 4 options to handle this. Option A, pretend not to care. The difficulty is low, but the actual effect is 0, because I do care. Option B, find an opportunity to confirm our relationship. Obstacle, what is our relationship? Normal classmates, not even considered friends. Option C, cry. Discarded, I am the school beauty after all. Option D, transfer school. A backup plan, temporarily on hold. Sitting in the back row, I listened to her inner thoughts and didn't find it funny this time. No matter how beautifully packaged those rating comments and threat levels were, underneath, she was just an ordinary girl. That panicky feeling of gains and losses in a secret crush, he was truly afraid of it. I made a decision. The next morning, I intentionally chatted with He Chang at the classroom door. My voice was neither too loud nor too soft, just enough for those in the front row to hear. That forum post is hilarious. Senior sister Bai Ningbing actually asked me to help carry a box. I have absolutely zero feelings for that cold type. I paused for a moment, then added, the type I like is not like that. Without saying more, I entered the classroom. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught sight of Lu Ruyan sitting in her seat, the tips of her ears flushed with a faint pink. At that moment, her inner voice lifted the alarm, ding. The Bai Ningbing threat list has been cleared. Student number 10 personally declared he has no feelings for the ice-cold type. Danger level downgraded to green. But, he said the type he likes isn't like that. What kind of type does he like then? Warm, quiet, talkative, or cute? Wait a minute, do I also belong to the ice-cold type? No, I'm not an iceberg. I am, production team, quick, help me think of a positioning. Cold on the outside, warm on the inside, the ceiling of the secret crush world, a treasure girl. Yes, that's it. The one he's talking about definitely doesn't include me. I sat down at my desk and flipped open my textbook. I thought to myself, that Friday was also a day packed with thrilling moments. The English teacher suddenly announced a pop quiz. I hadn't reviewed much at all and was just preparing to brace myself and get through it. Right at that moment, Lu Ruyan's inner voice automatically switched to pre-exam review playback mode. This allowed me to go over the key points one last time. There are 3 main testing points for the subjunctive mood in Unit 3. The common trap in closed tests is synonym replacement. If the reading comprehension is about environmental protection, high-frequency vocabulary includes sustainable, emission, and carbon footprint. I got a free pre-exam review, along with a high-frequency vocabulary list, which was more refreshing than any tutoring guide. One must know that Lu Ruyan's brain holds the knowledge base of the grade's top student. But I quickly realized this wasn't an answer sheet, nor was it cheating. She was just going over the knowledge points in her mind. I still had to read the questions myself, translate the sentences myself, and make my own choices. As I wrote down the answers, I tried to match the key testing points she mentioned with the actual test paper. The only problem was that I had to control my expression, because in the middle of her review playback, she added, "Oh no, if student number 10 does well this time, I will applaud him in my heart for 3 minutes. No, 5 minutes, no, for a lifetime." My pen almost pierced right through the test paper. After the exam, He Chang looked at my calm expression and asked, "Did you suddenly get good at English lately?" I simply replied, "I just put some effort into it." Inner voice, student number 10 seemed to write very fast. Did he make progress? If he does well, can I use my position as the study commissioner to naturally invite him to discuss the test paper? Yes, this reason is perfect, natural, and unpretentious. Lu Ruyan, you are a genius. During the afternoon class meeting, the homeroom teacher had everyone discuss the event allocation for the autumn sports meet. When Li Xia signed up on behalf of Lu Ruyan, she got into an argument with another girl. The opponent felt that Lu Ruyan took the good events every time, making the atmosphere a bit tense. Lu Ruyan showed no reaction on her face. Inner voice, it's this kind of thing again. Actually, I don't want to participate in the sports meet at all. Li Xia took it upon herself to sign me up. But if I say I won't participate now, Li Xia will feel her efforts were in vain, and that girl will feel she won, becoming even more arrogant. The best way to handle this is, if someone proposed signing up freely based on interest, the focus of the conflict would shift. But who would propose it? I raised my hand. Teacher, can the project allocation be done based on interest? Everyone signs up for what they want to participate in, and we can coordinate the overlapping parts later. The homeroom teacher thought for a moment and agreed, okay, that's fair. The conflict quickly subsided. Lu Ruyan lowered her head and flipped through her book. Why did she propose this plan at this exact moment? A coincidence, it must be a coincidence. But this is just too perfect. Student number 10, who on earth are you? Were you sent by heaven? Calm down, don't overthink it. But what if it's true? He Chang whispered to me, you're quite proactive today, speaking up as soon as you thought of it. The following Wednesday, I caught a cold with a 38-degree fever, a stuffy nose, and a headache. I lay in bed at home all day, waking up and falling back asleep repeatedly. On my phone, there were class notes and a few homework notifications sent by He Chang, but no messages from Lu Ruyan. She didn't have my WeChat. The whole day was quiet. There was no broadcast-style opening, no heartbeat signal live report, and no guest profile card popping up. My world seemed to have paused. The world suddenly became quiet, and logically speaking, I should be happy. Since that Monday morning, I hadn't truly experienced a single moment of peace. During class, lunch breaks, and meals, my mind was constantly playing a dating show that I couldn't turn off. But the moment it finally quieted down, I found myself feeling a bit unaccustomed to it. It's strange, because since I was a child, I've always been the type of person with a very low presence. I was the one standing in the furthest corner of the class photo, the one teachers always skipped during roll calls, and the one classmates forgot to invite to gatherings. I had long been used to the quiet, it was my comfort zone. But after 2 weeks of being bombarded by Lu Ruyan's inner thoughts, the silence suddenly felt different. It was like someone who had lived in a bustling city for a long time suddenly moving to the wilderness. While my ears were finally at peace, my heart felt completely empty. That voice, though loud, absurd, and constantly spewing abstract nonsense like Heartbeat Signal 98,000, archived in profile card, was always there. But it let me know that there was someone watching me every second of every day. This was a feeling I had never experienced before. It was already past 8 in the evening. He Chang sent me a WeChat message, attaching a screenshot that Li Xia had posted in the class group chat. Today, Li Xia asked me, "Sure how, are you coming to class tomorrow?" Lu Ruyan spent the entire day spacing out, which seemed highly unusual. He Chang attached a teasing message, hilarious, even the school bell has moments when she loses her focus. I stared at that message for a long time. Spacing out all day really wasn't normal. I couldn't quite describe the feeling, it was as if something that was originally blurry had suddenly been wiped clean in a small corner. Picking up my phone, I replied to He Chang, "Help me tell the teacher that I'll be back for class tomorrow." He Chang messaged back, "Aren't you still running a fever?" I replied, "Much better, though not fully recovered. I think I should go tomorrow." On Thursday morning, when I pushed open the classroom door, I was still running a mild fever. My face was slightly pale, and my voice was raspy. Lu Ruyan was sitting in the front row reading a book. The moment my foot stepped over the threshold, her heartbeat signal channel suddenly lit up. Ding! Dear viewers, he is here. There was a brief pause, followed by an unprecedented and extremely grand opening statement. The 537th heartbeat signal of Lu Ruyan, after a one-day broadcast suspension, officially returns. Today's guest is student number 10, attending despite being sick. His face is a bit pale. Is he still not fully recovered? Why didn't he rest at home? Does he not care about his life? But he came. He came, the flowers bloomed, and this world has color again. Please switch the background music to the first song, no need to choose, any song will do, his presence is the best BGM. I stood at the doorway, my lips curling up uncontrollably. Not because it was funny, but because I suddenly completely understood one thing, he had all the bustle and joy in his heart, and only I could hear it. When I wasn't around, those bustles and joys vanished together. Yesterday he dazed out all day because he couldn't even start his variety show. All the text effects, judges' ratings, and broadcasting voiceovers, in essence, were not some inner variety show. That was the way Lu Ruyan looked when she liked someone, happy to the point of overflowing. He just didn't know how to express it, so he hosted a show in his mind. And the only guest of that show was me. I walked to my seat and sat down, and Lu Ruyan flipped a page of her book. Without looking up, she sat down, looking like she hadn't fully recovered yet. Should I give her the throat lozenges I brought? No, that would be too obvious. What if I pretend to accidentally leave them on her desk? That's too dramatic. Should I ask Li Xie to pass them over? But then it wouldn't be from me directly. This is so frustrating. Forget it, let's just pretend not to notice her first. Yes, that's it. Cold, aloof, I must remain very aloof. I let out a soft cough. Just 5 seconds later, a throat lozenge slid over from the desk in the front row. Without turning around, Lu Ruyan said in a very flat voice, "Your coughing is annoying." Inner thoughts, oh my god, I actually gave him the candy. Am I being too forward? Will he think I care about him? But I really do care about him. Inner thoughts, but did I sound too mean just now when I said his coughing was annoying? Will he be upset? Oh no, I'm doomed. I unwrapped the lozenge, popped it into my mouth, and softly said, "Thank you." Inner thoughts, I'm completely melting, he actually said thank you. His raspy voice sounds so warm and pleasant. He ate the candy, my candy is in his mouth. Inner thoughts, does this count as an indirect kiss? No, what on earth am I thinking, this is too ridiculous. But oh, it's so sweet. I must bring a few more tomorrow. No, I'll bring them every single day. No, he can't be coughing every day, he has to be healthy. But if he is healthy, he won't need my candy anymore, how contradictory. Kujia looked at the smile I couldn't hide on the corner of my mouth and asked, "Did you eat a piece of candy to smile like this?" I softly replied, "This candy is quite sweet, really sweet, and it's not just candy." A week later, Lu Ruyan began to feel that something was not right. At the canteen, she coincidentally ran into him just as he appeared. Then during Bai Ningbing's incident, he appeared just in time to save the day. Even during the conflict in class, he made a suggestion at the perfect moment. He looked at her, his eyes sometimes carrying a smile as if he already knew the answer. He was the top of the grade, he was not stupid at all. A new frequency arose in her heart. Recording it a bit, coincidences in the last 10 days have appeared a total of 6 times. Coincidences definitely have a probability limit. If someone always coincidentally appears right when you need them most, doing the exact right thing, either he is a genius, or he knows something. Stop, no way, mind reading doesn't exist, and I'm not the female lead of a short drama. But what if he can really hear my inner thoughts? Then hasn't he known everything by now? From episode 523 until now, all of it. All of them, everything, every single episode. Including the time I wrote wedding vows for him in my heart, and the time I prepared 5 candidate names for our future children. Sitting in the back row, a cold sweat suddenly broke out across my back. His inner voice suddenly became extremely calm. Lu Ruyan, let's analyze this. If he really can read minds. First, he has never made it obvious, which means he doesn't want me to know. Second, all of his coincidences were helping me, and he has never once used this advantage to do anything bad. Third, if he knows I like him, and yet he hasn't run away, could it be that he also? A long silence ensued, and then his tone returned to normal. The above reasoning is too dangerous, so contestant Lu Ruyan decides to veto it herself. Conclusion, student number 10 cannot possibly have mind-reading abilities, all of the above are just coincidences. Returning to the normal program. Today's topic, when student number 10 borrowed a pen during the 3rd period, his finger touched mine for 0.3 seconds. Replaying the tactile sensation now. I let out a long, deep sigh of relief. That was a close call. His chain of deduction was almost entirely correct, missing only the very last step, mind reading. Qin Shu wanted to take this opportunity to pull her back, but he didn't intend to let it go just like that. He wanted to conduct an experiment. During the lunch break, Lu Ruyan thought to herself, so thirsty, I want to drink water but don't want to get it. If student number 10 can read minds, will he help me get water? I almost stood up. My right leg had already exerted force, and my butt left the chair by about 2 centimeters. But then I realized it was a trap, so I sat back down. The movement was extremely unnatural. He Chang glanced at me and asked, "Do you have nails under your butt?" I remained motionless and replied, "My leg is just numb." I continued solving the problems. My palms were drenched in sweat, and I could barely hold the pen. 10 minutes later, she went to get water herself. Her inner voice said, nothing happened. I was overthinking. First test, passed. During the afternoon break, she came up with a very specific signal in her mind. I have placed my pen at the corner of the table. If student number 10 can read minds, he should know that I want it to fall, and then wait for him to pick it up for me. I heard it. In the next second, her pen indeed rolled slowly from the corner of the table, falling onto the aisle with a click. I absolutely cannot at this moment. Just as she bent down to pick it up, He Chang stretched out, his toe accidentally touching the pen. "Sorry about that." He looked down, picked it up, and handed it to Lu Ruyan. "Your pen." Lu Ruyan took it. "Thank you." Voice, "It has nothing to do with Sure How, keep observing." Second test, passed. The next morning, the most fatal test arrived. Her inner voice whispered, "If Sure How can read minds, he should know by now that I brought 2 cups of milk tea today. One is for him, but I won't say a word or give any hints. If he knows, he will come and get it from me. If he doesn't know, this cup of milk tea will go to Xia." I heard it all. I glanced at Lu Ruyan's desk, and indeed, there were 2 cups of milk tea sitting there. I really wanted to go get it, but I forced myself to hold back. Half an hour later, Li Xia reached out and picked up the second cup. "Ruyan, why did you buy 2 cups today?" "I bought too many, you drink it." Voice, test result, negative. Sure How had no reaction whatsoever. Conclusion, he cannot read minds. I've confirmed it. Everything before was indeed just a coincidence. I can finally rest easy. I watched as Li Xia finished that cup of milk tea. The milk tea originally belonged to me, but for the first time, a very clear emotion welled up in my heart, regret, immense regret. That cup of milk tea was bought for me, but I couldn't accept it, because doing so would expose everything. For the first time, I truly felt the price of being able to hear someone's inner voice but unable to respond. It felt as if someone placed the most delicious candy in the world right in front of you, saying it was for the person next door. And that person next door was actually you, yet you couldn't admit it. This suffocating feeling remained clogged in my chest all day. During the afternoon classes, I barely paid attention, my mind completely filled with that cup of milk tea. It wasn't because I was craving it, but because my heart ached. Just how much courage did he have to muster to buy that second cup? In the end, because I couldn't respond, he could only watch helplessly as it turned into a failed experiment. In his conclusion, that cup of milk tea proved that he couldn't read minds. But in my world, the meaning of that cup of milk tea was, I like you, but I don't dare to say it, so I am using a cup of milk tea to bet on an impossible miracle. He lost the bet, but in reality, he was right. On the final day of the final exams, after finishing the last subject. Stepping out of the exam room, the air was filled with the scent of freedom. At this moment, I had figured out a few things. First, I could not hide this ability for the rest of my life. Second, Lu Ruyan deserved a formal and open response. Third, I did not want to remain just a spectator anymore. But I could not tell her that I could hear her inner voice, as that would be equivalent to telling her that I knew all of her secrets. That would be too cruel, so I chose a compromise. I would speak through my actions, but still give her a way out. I sat on the bench outside the lecture hall, waiting. When Lu Ruyan walked out, Li Xia was holding her arm and chatting away, spotting me from afar. Li Xia called out loudly, "Sure How, who are you waiting for?" I stood up, looking straight at Lu Ruyan, "Waiting for you." Li Xia's mouth instantly popped into an O shape. Lu Ruyan froze, her expression did not change, but her inner voice became completely blank. For the first time, even the announcer voice of the heartbeat signal system went silent. The entire channel felt as if someone had pulled the power plug, leaving nothing but static noise. I pulled a throat lozenge from my pocket, the exact same brand she had given me before. I had to run through 3 supermarkets just to buy it. I had to search all over the convenience store to find it. I said, handing the candy over. "Last time you gave me one, so now I'm returning the favor." I paused for a moment, but this was more than just an ordinary sea salt candy. Lu Ruyan lowered her head and stared intently at it. At that moment, her inner voice finally started. It wasn't in variety show mode, there was no host, no judges, and no colorful text effects. There was only a single voice, so quiet that even she could hardly believe it. "Is this for real?" I heard it. I watched her lower her head, her fingers unconsciously rubbing the wrapper of the candy. Under the bright sunlight, her eyelashes trembled slightly. So I said, "It's real." I spoke those words very softly, yet I knew their weight. They weren't just answering the question she hadn't asked aloud. They were also answering the question she had asked herself countless times in her heart, never daring to hope for an answer. Lu Ruyan's breath hitched for a moment. She looked up and asked in confusion, "What did you say?" I said, "I'm confessing my feelings to you. You can reject me, and I won't feel awkward, but I just don't want to wait anymore." Standing beside us, Li Xia was already jumping up and down in excitement. Lu Ruyan stared at the candy for a long time before finally reaching out to take it. She murmured softly, "I'll think about it." With that, she turned around and walked away quickly. Her back was straight, her steps light, a textbook exit for a school beauty. Her inner voice rushed out, chasing after her retreating figure. "Student number 10 confessed to me. Student number 10 confessed to me. He said he didn't want to wait anymore." Was he telling the truth? Since when did he start? Before me or after me? I must frame this throat lozenge and put it on my desk like a sacred relic. Wait, I just said I'd think about it. Will he think I'm rejecting him? Oh no, should I rush back and say I've made up my mind? No, that's too desperate. One day, I'll make him wait for a day. No, half a day. No, tonight. No, right now. Calm down, Lu Ruyan, calm down. You are the school beauty, you have a reputation to maintain. At least wait until tomorrow. But what if he can't wait until tomorrow and thinks I rejected him? I stood there and smiled. It wasn't the kind of snicker from hearing a funny inner thought, but the kind of smile when your chest is so full of something that it might burst if you don't let it out. I didn't actually plan to make him wait a whole day, I planned to wait until he was ready. Over the next few days, Lu Ruyan didn't formally agree, but every time she passed by my seat, her inner voice automatically switched to countdown mode. 3 hours and 27 minutes have passed since the official response. Will student number 10 think I'm acting too aloof? A whole day has passed since the official response. Oh no, why is he still so calm today? Is he regretting it? No way, he said he didn't want to wait anymore. But he said he didn't want to wait, and yet I still made him wait. Lu Ruyan, you really are a cruel woman. Today, when she borrowed the eraser, she smiled. Very good, the confession incident didn't cause any negative impact. Program crew record, relationship enters the ambiguous observation period. On the surface, I remained calm, but inside I was laughing hysterically. She thought she hit it well, but actually, every single hesitation of hers, every countdown, I could hear clearly. Every time she wanted to get closer but pretended to just pass by, I knew it all. But I didn't rush her because I knew she wasn't unwilling. She just cherished this too much, wanting to accept in the most solemn way. On the last day before summer break, we returned to school to get our report cards. I walked into the classroom, and Lu Ruyan was already sitting in the front row, half an hour earlier than usual. 2 cups of milk tea were placed in front of her. 2 cups? Just like that day. It was the exact same handwriting, but this time, there was no line saying if you don't know, give this cup to Li Xia. He saw me come in, without raising his head, and simply said, yours. Just 2 short words, exactly like that throat lozenge at the very beginning, with an extremely small gesture but carrying immense weight. I didn't sit in the back row anymore, but walked to the seat next to him, sat down, and took a sip of the milk tea. The Heartbeat Signal channel slowly lit up, episode 538 of Lou Ruyan's Heartbeat Signal. This episode features a major update. Student number 10 has been adjusted from the guest seat to a permanent MC. Starting today, this program permanently closes its registration channel, does not accept new guests, does not accept inserted advertisements, and does not accept any form of poaching. The show's positioning has been updated from unrequited love observation to official suite broadcasting. As for contestant Lou Ruyan's heartbeat value, the system can no longer calculate it, it has completely overflowed. I lowered my head to drink the milk tea, concealing the curve of my lips. Lou Ruyan turned a page of her book and whispered, "Number 10?" I softly replied, "Yeah." She continued, "Do you still have throat lozenges?" I answered immediately, "Yes." She said softly, "My throat is a bit dry." Her face remained completely calm, without any change in expression. However, her inner voice was screaming, "My throat isn't dry at all, I just really want to eat the candy he gave me." Ha! Does this count as dating? Sitting together, drinking milk tea, and eating candy counts as dating, right? I must write this in my diary. Our very first date, location, classroom, activity, drinking milk tea. This is the best date in the whole world. I handed her the candy, and as she took it, her fingertips brushed against mine for about 0.3 seconds. Inner voice, her fingers are so warm, that feeling just now. Well, no need to reminisce. Right now is a live stream, this is the sweet benefit from the official couple. There is no need to reminisce because we will have this every single day in the future. Outside the window is the July sunlight, and inside the classroom, there are only the two of us. The ice in the milk teacup is slowly melting, with tiny droplets of water condensing on the side of the cup. This might be the best ending I could get after being forced to watch a whole season of a dating show. It is not the grand reunion ending of an entertainment show, but rather the kind where she has permanently left this channel for you, and you finally do not have to just sit outside the screen and watch anymore. I still keep that 20 yuan bill until now. Mr. Fortune Teller, you were right, it really was a miraculous encounter. It is just that this miraculous encounter is a bit noisy, but I have no intention of returning the goods.